Gentlemen, just sit by your placard. Thank you. All right, we have the Texas Tech student athletes, number 3 seed in the West. A couple of reminders: silence your cell phones. Flash photography is prohibited. Announce your name and media affiliation when asking questions. One follow-up: raise your hand to get the attention of Polly. And we'll begin. We have Bryson Williams, Kevin McCullough, and Kevin O'Banner. Please raise your hand, and if you can, tell us who the question is for.
Joseph Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Kevin, obviously last year you were on the other side of an NCAA tournament upset, being the team that was an underdog and obviously going on a run. I guess how is it different this time around, and maybe what lessons can you impart from that experience being on the other side last year?
I mean, it's a blessing, of course, just to be, in March Madness once again, and I know for sure a lesson is that anybody can be beat. So as we're facing this team, tomorrow, just to have the mindset just to win and just don't take your competitor lightly and just to come out victorious. So that's the kind of the mindset that we have in the team.
Jared Johnson, inside the Red Raiders, 24/7 Sports. Hey, Kevin, I remember back in 2019, that run that you redshirt and you traveled with the team and all that, and talking in the locker room. Is there anything that you learned from that whole run and that experience that you used last year and then you could use in this tournament?
Yeah, it was valuable, coming to college early and being with those guys. And on the Final Four run, I really just witnessed how, like the older guys just took it so seriously, but they also enjoyed the ride and had fun along the way. This is a blessing at the level that we're at right now to be in this tournament. So, we just want to have fun and go out there and win. So.
Parker Cotton from the Bozeman Daily Chronicle. Bryson, my question is for you. In preparation for this game, Montana State's coaches and players have said that in watching Texas Tech, your physicality and your depth really stands out. On the other side of that, what sort of things have stood out to you about Montana State as you all have prepped for this game?
Watching Montana State, I mean, they're a very versatile team. They got a good post presence, and their guards are really good at penetrating to the paint. And they know how to find their shots. And us as Tech, we know how important defense is and how important being physical and being the hardest playing team is. And every team in this tournament is good, and that's our chip, and that's what we gotta rely on in these games.
For Kevin McCullough, Brady King here with Fox 34 and KSBD in Lubbock. What's been the message from Coach Adams going into this postseason? Has it changed the same? Has it been the same as the whole season, or has anything changed from him?
Really, it's been the same the whole season. Day by day, we're still getting better every day, practicing and things like that. But it's really just he's been preaching just being the hardest playing team every night. And when we do that, we give us a chance to win, and that's all you can do. So just pretty much being the hardest playing team every night out there.
Carlos Silva from the Lubbock Avalanche Journal. This is for Bryson. Bryson, in terms of just your first NCAA tournament game and being able to be close to family, how have you kind of seen that, and are you going to have a lot of people kind of coming to this game, and how important is that to you?
It's very important to me. Definitely. I'm from Fresno, which is only about 5-6 hours away from here. So my mom and them are able to drive down and come watch the game. It's a big thing, and then also it be my first NCAA tournament game. It's just a blessing to be able to be on a team that's contenders to be able to play for a national title, and it's just a blessing.
Hi guys, Alex Eshelman with ABC Fox Montana. This is a little off the topic of basketball, but have you guys ever been to Montana, and do you guys know anything about the state?
I have no clue about Montana, and I've never been there.
I've never been there either.
I have no clue. No clue.
Pete Christie from KCBD in Lubbock. Really a question for all you guys is just, Coach Adams has preached togetherness, and all you guys are, Kevin, you've been here, but you other guys came in and you're all from other programs. Talk about the togetherness of this team meshing together and making this run now in the tourney.
Start on the far end this time.
I mean, it's all about just embracing the moment. You know, it's a family hit at the end of the day. I know how far we go will determine, you know, especially the bond that we have, and it just makes us closer and closer. And this is when players make plays, and I think this is a big moment, and just to keep us closer and just to, you know, really go far.
Yeah, I would just say the relationship we have with each other on and off the court. We do everything together, and these are my brothers, so I know that carries over. So you got to have that to make a good run in this tournament.
Yeah, I'll reiterate what they said. I mean, we're all brothers. I mean, it was just from the jump. As soon as we had a bunch of new guys coming, we had guys that were already here, and we just gelled automatically, and we just became brothers that fast. So it just makes it that much easier on the court.
Hi, Scott Miller, New York Times. Question for Kevin McCullough, and if I could have a follow-up. The question for Kevin, as a young guy in 2019, after that Final Four, obviously the coaching change shocked a lot of people. Where you're at now, I'm just wondering, what you see in the transition, and what do you make of Coach Adams' style now, and how different is it?
Oh yeah, the Final Four run, I'll never forget it. It was just so like vivid. Like I still see it to this day. After we lost that game in the national championship, seeing everybody crying and stuff, like just motivated me to want to get back there so bad. And with the coaching change with Coach Adams, he's done a great job, and that's the main reason I stayed, to stay with him. And you know, when we brought in a bunch of new guys and stuff, we all just gelled so easily. And you know, we've been having a great run. We've been doing better than a lot of people thought we would even do with the whole coaching change and stuff like that. But we're not settled for that, and you know, we're just trying to make history. So.
And then, thank you. And then the follow-up, if I could ask all three of you, maybe Bryson, and then go down. Just you guys, the incredible defense you play, the energy. If you could each just describe how much effort is put into defense at practice every day compared to other things, and what do you make of it? Is it similar at all to any defense you've ever played?
This is definitely the most different defense I've ever played. I mean, that's a big emphasis on our practice every day is defense. And that was a big reason why I even came to Texas Tech, was to become a better defender. And everybody knows Texas Tech for their defense and how hard they play on that end of the floor. So that's a big emphasis we put on that in practice.
Yeah, since I've been at Texas Tech, coming out of high school, I knew I was going to have to play defense here, and that's one thing I love to do growing up. So that was the main reason I came to Texas Tech. And Coach Adams, he's going to make sure we playing defense for sure.
Just to reiterate what they said, you know, defense just wins championships, and just to have that as a foundation is a blessing, and you know, it's a big thing that we focus on in practice every day.
Brady King, Fox 34 in Lubbock. For Bryson, you guys obviously are known for your defense. Montana State a little bit known for their three-point shooting. From your opinion, what's going to be the keys to victory tomorrow?
Really, like just what you said. I mean, who's is better? Is our defense better, or is their offense better? I mean, they are a very talented offensive team. They do a lot of great things on that side of the floor as well. I mean, we do a lot of great things on the defense side of the floor. So, I mean, it's just going to be who imposes their will the most, especially in March.
Anything else for the student athletes? Go ahead. Yep.
John Titel from hoopshd.com for Kevin McCullough. You missed 8 games this year, so how was your health, and what did you do for the Big 21 on Tuesday?
My health is great now. My ankle is healed up all the way, and I'm feeling good. Thanks to Mike Neal, our trainer, and they've been helping me get back on my feet and get going. And for my 21st birthday, I've just been really locked in, so I'm just trying to make a run in March, so after I can celebrate after. So.
Joseph Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Bryson, you talked about defense and what entails to do that here at Texas Tech. I'm just kind of curious from a chemistry standpoint on defense, which seems like an essential thing with transfers that come in. I guess how easy was it to gel with this group, or did that take some time, especially before the season, before you guys really gelled defensively with some newcomers and some old faces?
It definitely took some time. I mean, because some guys were, some guys need to improve on defense. I mean, I was one of them. Needed to improve on defensively, and then just the defensive scheme that we run. I mean, it took time. It was so different from what we was running at our previous institution. So it took some time, but I mean, once we figured it out and once we gelled on that, and I mean, it just made it that much easier on the floor, and it actually helped us on the offensive side as well.
Anything else for the student athletes? Thank you, gentlemen. Good luck.
Appreciate you.
A recording of this press conference will be available in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts provided by ASAP, posted shortly. Thank you. And kudos to anyone wearing green. Nicely done. Photography is prohibited. Make sure you announce your name and media affiliation when asking questions. Limit of 1 follow-up. Make sure to raise your hand, and we'll get started in a minute. Oh, no worries. You're 1 away from me. All right, we'll begin with an opening statement from Coach Adams.
Wow, it hits home when I see my name in March Madness. So, just so excited that our team. This has been an unbelievable journey. If you had the time to interview our guys individually, they all have a great story about how they've overcome a lot of adversity to be here. We have a lot of transfers, and excited that these guys believe in each other and me. And then way back in April, and then these guys were recruited up to right around June 1st, and even after that, these guys wanted to be here. They wanted to be in the big dance and wanted to play for a coach and a team that had a chance to get there. So I'll be always indebted to our players for their trust in me, and just so excited that these guys get to experience this. It's just something that you dream as a little kid and growing up, and just to see these guys here and what they've accomplished. I'm just so proud to be their coach.
Carlos Silva, Lubbock Avalanche Journal. Mark, you kind of alluded to it, but just when you go back to April and you had 4 players and you're trying to figure all this stuff out, at what point did you kind of feel, okay, here's the vision and this is what we're going to expect and we're going to get to March?
Well, I was first of all fortunate to be at a university that has some tradition, has a great fan base and a supportive administration. That's a great start. The problem was it was just Coach Sutton and I in an empty office, and so we had to put that staff together, and so together we had the vision. Look, let's put together a championship team to go along with this. We knew it'd be a championship program. We didn't know it happened this fast, but again, so much of the credit goes back to the guys that we recruited, 7 transfers, that they believed in each other, that these guys wanted to be coached. We did our due diligence and found guys that love basketball and were coachable and wanted to be coached hard, and that was a great fit for us. And again, so blessed that I get to experience that, and again, honored and privileged that I get to coach these guys.
Hey, Coach Pete Christie, can you give us the attitude of the team? You've got guys who've been in March Madness from other teams, guys who were with the team, and just coming together, and kind of what's the mentality of this team now as you're less than 24 hours from playing your
Pete,
first game?
that's a great question. You always are concerned about that. Are they too confident? Are they a little bit too nervous? And you want your guys ready and continue to improve. And I talked to these guys today about that. We got to trust that we deserve to be here. We've earned that right to be here, like all these teams have. But again, excited that we've got some guys that haven't been here before, like Davion Warren and Bryson Williams, and this is their first time to be here, and they deserve to be here. So proud of those guys. But we also have some experience, like Kevin O'Banner, who was Lowell Roberts. He's been here before, and he knows what it takes. And 5 guys last year that were here, and so we have some experience. We have those that don't have experience, have a lot of energy and enthusiasm, which will make up for it. So we have a little, combination of both. But it's so important that we have the right attitude, stay grounded, trust the process, believe in each other, don't be something we're not. Everybody's got a role, and we've been great accepting that role, and just go and play hard.
Parker Cotton from the Bozeman Daily Chronicle. Mark, I have 2 questions for you, if you don't mind. The first is, Danny Sprinkle was in here earlier, and he said that he had recruited some of your players in the past when you were at Howard College. So he joked that he certainly is very familiar with you, but you probably don't know who he is. I'm curious, what is your familiarity with Danny Sprinkle and the job that he's doing in Bozeman?
Can we just go to the second question? No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Coach Sprinkle, he's a great guy, and a heck of a basketball player too. We're kind of in familiar territory because we both love our schools and our alma mater, but I do remember Coach Sprinkle, and wonderful guy, and just have a lot of respect for him as a coach and what he's done with the program there, but nothing but good things about him as a coach, and looking forward to coaching against him tomorrow.
And secondly, in the lead up to this contest, he and his players have mentioned how physical your team is and kind of the depth that you have as the things that stand out the most. On the other side of that, what have you watched in your preparation at Montana State, and what stands out to you?
Shoot, they're reading our cue cards. We think the same thing about them. I mean, we think they're very physical. They've got a lot of depth and strength inside, and they're a very disciplined team, like we think that we are as well. You know, and they know a lot about winning 27 games. They've won 11 in a row at one time. I think they won 6 in a row now, and they got a lot of older, experienced players. So they're, you know, we mirror each other in a lot of ways. So, and I think this is a team that I don't. You look at teams with their strengths and weaknesses, and we just don't see many weaknesses on this team. You know, this team that they share the ball. Like I say, they're patient on offense, which is going to put a lot of stress on us. We'll have to work a little longer and harder on defense, and then they've got a lot of guys who can shoot the ball. So there'll be a huge challenge for us.
John Titel from hoopshd.com. 12 years ago, you won a national championship. So what did you learn about what it takes to win games in March? And if you can win tomorrow, any chance Jay Crowder will drop by Saturday before he plays on Sunday?
I wish. Yeah, him on bench to coach. Yeah, when I won that national championship, you know, I felt pretty good about myself coaching. Then I didn't know I had an NBA guy on my team in Jay Crowder. I knew he was good, but not that good. But which always goes back. It's always about the players and those guys buying in and the leadership. And Jay was a wonderful leader and just a great person. I remember in that championship game, he had I think he was like 2 for 3 or something going into halftime when we were down, and he didn't say a word. He's such a great team player. And I'm looking at the stat sheet. Hey guys, why don't we give Jay the ball a little bit more? How about that? And we did, and ended up winning that one. But Jay was, you know, that's the type of guy he is, just an unbelievable leader. And we've got some of those on this team that are just very unselfish. But and again, it's just such a great experience to cut down the nets. That's in that Final Four team a few years back, we were really close, and that's just a great experience. But there's nothing better than being the champion and being the best in the country.
Scott Miller from New York Times. Mark, your defensive philosophy, the tough switching defensive play, one or two questions. First, how long have your defensive principles been with you, and how much tweaking has there been along the way, and is there still today?
Yeah, Scott, I have always been a defensive coach, at least in my mind anyway. So even back junior college, and we've always been really good on the defensive end. I changed, I've tweaked it. Again, I stole from everybody, Coach Sutton and you know, and Bob Knight, Dick Bennett, you know, all those guys I looked up. Gerald Myers was the first guy that really introduced me to man defense. But about 3 or 4 years ago, when actually our first year here, I was in charge of our defense at Tech. We finished 7th, and so I went back that summer, started looking and trying to study Kansas and Baylor, and so that's really where this kind of evolved. Even though some other people have done it in the past, that was our real commitment. Is, you know, we want to try to do a no middle defense.
And secondly, with the transfers you just spoke of, what are the challenges of getting transfer players that coming in to buy into the defense, and how difficult is that?
Yeah, I think it's difficult for any coach when you bring a transfer in, because they've got a certain role and they're the best player on the team, most of them, and they're getting the most shots and getting most touches, and then you bring them in and say, we love you, but we got to, we're going a different way, and we're going to share the ball, and we're going to play defense, and if you want to do those things, you'll get to play a lot of minutes. And again, fortunately, we had guys with that kind of character that put winning first, not themselves, and so again, I've been really blessed to have guys that want to be coached hard, but also want to win, and they know in order to win, we've got to do it the right way and play the right way.
Joseph Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Mark, kind of on that note too, Bryson talked about how the chemistry on defense that's needed was something that built over time. I was wondering if you could take me back to the offseason, though, and specifically, how did you really get these guys to build chemistry with each other defensively?
Yeah, that first week with so many new players, the 7 transfers coming, I jokingly say I wanted to transfer, after that first week, because we just, just so much to learn and so many different personalities, but that was a really challenge through the summer. But the guys had great attitude. We're just trying to see what they, to look at their strengths and try to accentuate those strengths. But on the defense wing, it was always constant. We always believed in defense. We talked about, we drilled it every day. The guys bought in that, and just fortunate that these guys. One of the reasons they came to Texas Tech is that we had a reputation to play defense. And a lot of the guys want to embrace that, and they want to become a better defensive player. So that part was easy, but getting all these guys to, just sharing the ball and understanding the importance of the team concept and coming from different programs and getting to change that role completely. So much of the credit goes back to these guys, again, like I said earlier, just being unselfish.
Brady King, Fox 34 in Lubbock. Coach Sprinkle mentioned the toughest part about playing your team is their toughness. What do you have to say about that? And also, what is the toughest part about Montana State from what you've seen so far?
Yes, well, that's one of the greatest compliments I think anybody could give a team. Coach Sprinkle says your toughness, and I think the same thing about them. And every team in this tournament's got some toughness. It may be on the offensive end, but there's something about the team that they've overcome adversity, that they've won a tournament championship, that they're here. And there's a lot of different ways to describe toughness: mental toughness, physical toughness, I'd like to think we have both, and I know they do. One thing to talk about defense, I always say the best defense is a patient offense, and so they play good defense, but their defense is even better because they work you so hard on the offensive end. They're so disciplined. So again, a lot of admiration for them, and think they have a team toughness that I hope we have.
Parker Cotton from the Bozeman Daily Chronicle. When Danny Sprinkle was in here and his availability was just about to end, he mentioned that he was disappointed with his team's defense about 6 weeks ago. So we put together a bunch of clips of your team's defense to
Just
try to
what not
them.
to do, or what
Quite the opposite. So I'm curious, how much is that a compliment and kind of a credit to your staff and your players that the defense that you play is a model for other teams?
Well, yeah, that is a nice compliment, and again, I've done the same thing. When I would show our team, Coach Sprinkle's their offense, how they share the ball, and so we're always borrowing from each other and learning and using different ways to motivate our guys. But yeah, that's a nice compliment, and I'm trying to build up my anger and hate so I not like this guy tomorrow. So but he's such a good guy. But we both got to go out and play hard tomorrow. But again, a lot of respect for Coach Sprinkle and again, here's one of the nice things to say. They've got a ton of guys who can shoot threes, but a lot of them only take a couple of shots a game because you're just so focused on teamwork and each other that you see no selfishness at all on their part. And a lot of that goes back to him and how he's coached that team and his leadership.
Hey, Coach Jared Johnson, Inside the Red Raiders. You talked about Montana State and their style some, but I'm curious, in preparing for this game, did they remind you of anybody else in the Big 12 or any of the other teams that you played this year?
They are extremely well getting to the free throw line, and again their pace is a little bit slower. Maybe they've got I don't know. I see a little bit of some stuff that Kansas State does, the way they share the ball, and then but they've got probably some ingredients of TCU as well that I see with a really big guy inside, but more than anything, they're just so competitive. They really compete hard, and that's why they've won so many games. And you just don't like. I never like playing a coach that their teams play hard and getting better. I think that's a mark of a pretty good coach, and that's what Coach Sprinkle's done. These teams, they continue to get better, and they're playing hard every game.
Hi, Coach. Alex Eshelman with ABC Fox Montana. This is a slightly silly question off the topic of basketball, but I asked the three players up here if they have been to Montana, and if not, if they knew anything about the state. And all three of them said, nope, I have no idea. Have you ever been?
I hope they still said nice things about Montana. It's a pretty state. So.
And have you been, and do you know anything about the state?
That is I'm not saying it's a silly question. It's a good question. I don't think I've ever been to Montana. I've seen tons of pictures. Would like to go someday. It's a beautiful, beautiful state, but I don't know if I've personally been there and experienced that.
Yeah, Coach Brady King, Fox 34 in Lubbock again. You mentioned it being kind of surreal to see your nameplate on there. Has it hit you that you guys are here, and how do you kind of maintain the excitement of the guys, but also staying locked in for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, you just turn on, sports, and you're going, it's everybody's talking about the March Madness and the tournament, and so it's all around us. I think our bigger question right now is how we stay focused, not get distracted by all this attention and the social media and the interviews, and the teams that can handle that are the teams, again, that are gonna survive and advance and all. So, but back to your question, well, have they ever been to Lubbock? Any? Well, good for you. I'm glad. Did they? Any of them been to?
I didn't ask that, but I'm going to.
Well, you need to do that. So.
Joseph Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Kevin was obviously on the flip side of a first-round matchup last year, being an underdog, a 15 seed that went on a run. Now he's on your side, and he said he learned that any team can beat anyone at this stage. I guess, is that an easy resource or talking point for you to tap into, or do you even need it with this team?
No question. We all talked to KO about it, Kevin, and asked him what he'd learned, and we're always trying to share our experiences, and so everybody's though they're played in this tournament are a valuable resource to us, and we want to get their opinion, and he was just talked about how his feelings and all, and it was enlightening. I thought it was very informative. Our guys learned from it.
This will be the last question.
Carlos Silva, Lubbock Avalanche Journal. Coach, I noticed Clarence was in a walking boot. Was that a practice injury, or is he all right, or I guess what's his status?
Yeah, I think, well, he had injured it earlier, and then the last game against Kansas, he re-injured it. So, he's been in the boot most of this week, and this is his first day of practice. So, but he is back, and we'll see at game time if he's going to play or not. Carlos.
All good? Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you all. God bless you. Thank you.
Good luck.